Good afternoon. It is 4:30 p.m. on Tuesday, December 16th, 2025. We will call the City Council meeting of the City of New Ulm to order. First item tonight is the consent agenda. Councilors, what are your wishes?
I so move.
Second.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
That motion carries. Item 2.1 is a public hearing on a tax abatement program for M&D Properties LLC. Mr. Schnobrick, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Madam President, members of the City Council. The City Council received a letter from M&D Properties LLC, and it was considered at your January 7th, 2025 meeting, and at that time, they requested the establishment of a tax abatement program for some townhouse units that they were building at 2229 North Highland Avenue. Then shortly after that, we were advised that they would be building a second series of units at that particular location and would also be requesting tax abatement assistance. And so we stopped with the preparation of documentation for what I'm going to call was Phase 1. And we waited for the submittal of the second letter requesting the establishment of a tax abatement program. We received that letter on July 15th of 2025. City Council authorized staff to proceed with the preparation of the appropriate documents for both phases. The owners of M&D are Dale Bushard and Mike Kroll. The project site is legally described as Lot 9, Block 7, Lakeside Village Addition. So both phases of units are on one parcel of property. The property is generally located east of the railroad tracks, north of North Highland Avenue, and west of Lake Avenue. Phase 1 consists of 8 units. 4 of them are 3-bedroom, 4 are 2-bedroom. Phase 2 consists of 6 units with 3 3-bedroom and 3 2-bedroom. These are townhouse units with tuck-under garage, 1 garage for each unit. They've requested tax abatement assistance to help ease the excessive cost of building, to allow rental rates to be affordable to the residents of New Ulm and individuals looking to become residents of New Ulm. It would also help with the community's housing needs. Staff determined that it would be more efficient to combine the 2 abatement requests into one project, given their proximity to each other. The tax abatement program allows cities to rebate a portion of the property taxes after development and use those proceeds to offset development or redevelopment costs incurred by the property owner or the city. The city retained the firm of David Drones Associates Incorporated to determine the feasibility and the terms of a tax abatement program for M&D. Their determination was as follows. First, that the project is eligible for tax abatement assistance. Then that the county assessor has projected an increase in market value as a result of the project of $1,914,900. The total amount of tax abatement would be $164,251, and this would be payable over a term of 10 years. So that leaves us with an annual abatement amount of $16,425, and in no event will it exceed the increase in the city property tax attributed to the increase in the market value. The city fee for establishing a tax abatement program is $4,000. And so they will be obligated to pay that amount. We will use tax abatement assistance for that purpose, maximum of $1,000 per year. There are no job requirements with this type of project because it relates to housing. The tax abatement will be used to pay for site improvements, exterior lighting, parking lot construction, landscaping, and construction costs associated with the project. The permitted use of tax abatement is general economic growth resulting in an increased tax base. The establishment of a tax abatement program requires a development agreement, and a copy of the agreement is attached to your report that you received. The development agreement will address the payment of property taxes, tax abatement, project definitions, responsibilities of M&D and the city, construction schedule, specifics of the tax abatement program, and events of default. The first tax abatement revenue will be collected from taxes payable in 2028. The first payment then will be made in February of 2029. The city has always made tax abatement on a pay-as-you-go basis, which means that M&D initially pays for all project costs and the city reimburses them as property tax revenue is provided by Brown County. If the project does not generate sufficient tax abatement revenue, M&D is responsible for any deficiencies. Tax abatement is an established Minnesota program that promotes economic development. The one condition that I would request that the city council would allow for, and that is that the city attorney and staff would be authorized to make minor or insignificant changes to the tax abatement agreement and resolution. That would conclude the staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Schnobreck. This is a public hearing. If anyone would care to be heard, please come state your name and address for the record. Do you anticipate any kind of minor changes? Is that?
I don't in this particular case, but sometimes we have had that. So we've made that a standard statement that is attached to every document that we do. Later on, I'll be reporting on a tax abatement project where we did have that situation.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Schnobreck.
Being nobody's going to come to the mic, I'm going to offer a resolution approving the establishment of a tax abatement program as described in the attached tax abatement agreement for M&D Properties, LLC at 2229 North Highland Avenue, and allow the staff and the city attorney to make minor adjustments to the agreement.
Second.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
Counselor Schmitz?
Yes.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, motion carries. Item 3.1 is a gravel pit license for MR Paving.
I'll offer the motion to approve the renewal of gravel pit license for MR Paving and Excavating for the period beginning January 1, 2026, ending December 31st, 2026.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
That motion does carry. Item 3.3, bed and breakfast license.
You skipped two.
3.2, raffles gambling permit for Newham Area Catholic Schools.
I'll make a motion to approve the issuance of a lawful gambling permit for the New Ulm Area Catholic Schools to conduct pull tabs and raffles gambling at the Kegel Club, 416 19th North Street on Friday, January 30th, 2026.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
That motion carries. Now, item 3.3, bed and breakfast license.
President and Councilors, I'd like to make a motion to approve the issuance of a bed and breakfast license renewal for the period beginning January 1st, 2026 and ending December 31st, 2026 for Shannon and Todd McKeith doing business as Bingham Hall Bed and Breakfast at 500 South German Street, subject to compliance with all city requirements.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. That motion does carry. Item 4.1 is summary of business conducted during board and commission meetings.
I did attend the Park and Rec Commission meeting. Update was given on the comprehensive plan. It's about 50% done. I do want to mention that on January 12th, after the Park and Rec's meeting, there will be an open house down at the, not the field house, I still call it Vogel Arena, I apologize, the swimming pool. There will be a open house to make comments for the general public on that, what the update is. That was good news. Further in the agenda, the board did accept donations. Those are at the end of the agenda. And also, they did do a thank you to Carissa Bugler and Bev Lunenberg for their time spent on the Park and Rec Commission. Oh, and also attended the DEDA. I'll minorly defer most of the report to the council president. But as you're all aware, we did receive the strategic plan. The EDA Commission has a long road ahead with, is it every other month, Andrea? We're going to do a work session to update those policies.
Correct. Yep. On the schedule. Yep. Thank you.
And that's it.
Thank you.
Transportation meeting had a meeting December 10th. As Journal noted, we've been awarded funding for 2 propane buses. Still no real definitive timetable. Still looking for infrastructure funding for storage improvements. Ridership of Herman Express is up significantly from last year, over 1,000 extra riders compared to last year, so that's actually going really well. Looking to get some benches, possibly some bike racks at some of the bus stops. The free rides for the farmers market and veterans is going well. Looking to possibly add National Guard members to the list of people that are for free rides, but looks like everything's going pretty good with the busing.
Great. Thank you.
From Sister Cities, we just had we thanked Brian Filzen and Dick Seabooth for their service for serving on the Sister Cities Commission. And we are accepting applications through the end of the year for our outbound Sister Cities Exchange program. And then planning and zoning, we're going to meet this Thursday.
Great. Thank you.
And my 2 boards and commissions, Cable Communication Advisory Board and Heritage Preservation Commission, have not met recently.
Mayor.
A couple of things. Sister Cities Commission, as Councilor Mack reported, we did recognize the 2 outgoing commissioners. We also have selected, but I don't know if it's for public disclosure, the recipients of the award this year for Sister Cities and the work that's being done. So I'll defer to Councilor Mack on that one. I'm not sure what the status is of disclosure of that
I
information.
don't think it's been released yet.
Oh, okay, so that confidential information. We also had a ribbon cutting for Medelia Health. They have opened a New Ulm clinic. It's out at the Gislason Law Office building, for those of you who aren't aware. And so that was a good event and met the staff that's going to be working out there with the Medelia Health. EDA, the one project that was also discussed at EDA was looking at the update on the Garden Terrace project and moving that forward. Also, I met with the city manager and we met with the Dakota Riders representative, getting more information about that project, how the city can assist it going forward. And just to remind you, I know there's information out there on social media, et cetera, but that is December 23rd and 24th. And then last Saturday night, had the opportunity to attend the fire department Christmas party and thank Chief for that. And I know that not everybody is invited, but I can update you that the firefighters in full dress uniform, it's an awesome sight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, lots of great updates. I'll start. So we did attend, a number of us did attend the NLC, the National League of Cities Conference in Salt Lake City last month. There were some absolutely wonderful sessions. I attended two really impactful ones, mainly on kind of civility and, how that is impacting the work that we do. It's impacting elections, even nonpartisan elections such as this, and just was it was nice to see that we're kind of not alone in some of this, but it is kind of a good reminder for everyone out there that, there's folks that are working for you, and different ways that we can be respectful for each other. Regarding the EDA, there was a big, strategic plan. So we definitely have our work cut out for us. And we hope that you tune in and continue to see what we're making progress on, maybe making some changes to some of the available funding programs to just realign with what our needs are as a community right now. And kind of just continuing to move in the right direction with the economic development opportunities. And everything from childcare to workforce to housing, we are working on those as well. So, and then lastly, yes, I also attended the fire department Christmas party on Saturday. Thank you. It's a great turnout. Everyone looked great. It was very well done, and I just love going every year. So thank you. Any other updates? Wonderful. Moving on to item 5.1 is a request for tax abatement for SLD Properties, LLC. And I see Mr. Nisley approaching. Hi, good evening.
Good evening, Council President, Councilors. John Nisley, planner with the City of New Ulm. This action would be to authorize the staff and the project consultant to prepare the documentation necessary to establish a tax abatement program for SLD Properties, LLC at 318 to 326 North Broadway. To give you a visual of where that is, that's the old 4th North and Broadway site that's now vacant. There was a house there up until last year. So for a little background information, SLD Properties LLC is the owner of the subject property. The owner of SLD Properties LLC is Dr. Matt Downs. The subject property is legally described as lots 8 through 10, block 69 north of Center Street. And the property is generally located east of North Broadway and south of 4th North Street. This property abuts the Broadway House apartments and to the south, and then the Glockenspiel is located east of the alley on this block. The property is zoned B4, that's our central business district, and the lot size is 0.57 acres. The proposed project. The proposed building size is approximately 6,500 square feet. They're proposing to have 3 separate commercial spaces within that building footprint. The site would have approximately 32 parking stalls, and that would be located behind the building and between the alley and the building. There would be a driving lane installed and located on the north, west, and south sides of the building. The estimated value of the project would be $1,524,700 according to the Brown County Assessor's Office. The estimated annual city tax abatement would be $19,776, and in no event will it exceed the increase in the city property tax attributed to the increase in the market value as a result of the project. The anticipated term of the tax abatement would be 13 years. The maximum total tax abatement to be provided would be $256,958,000. The owner is requesting tax abatement assistance to help pay for the removal and remediation of highly variable and unsuitable soils throughout the site, including building rubble, debris, organic materials, buried topsoil, and clays. The existing fill was determined to be unsuitable for supporting the building and pavement. Brown Intertech has recommended the complete removal and replacement of these materials with structural fill to ensure the long-term stability and safety of the development. Review of the Sanborn fire maps provides evidence of numerous structures previously located on the property. And if you want a unique look at history, go look at the Sanborn maps in that area of town. There's a lot of activity, business activity that took place in that corner. The establishment of the tax abatement program will require a development agreement. The tax abatement program allows the city to rebate a portion of the property taxes and use those proceeds to offset development or redevelopment costs. Permitted use of tax abatement is general economic development resulting in an increase in the tax base. The city currently has 4 existing tax abatement programs and 3 that are pending. The first tax abatement revenue would be collected from taxes payable in 2028, and the first payment would be made to the owner in the February of 2029. The city and SLD will enter into a tax abatement agreement regarding the tax abatement program. Tax abatement program would be conducted on a pay-as-you-go basis, and this process requires the owner to initially pay for all the project expenses, and the city will reimburse them as the tax abatement revenues are received. If the project does not generate sufficient tax abatement revenue, the owner will assume financial responsibility for any deficiencies. Tax abatement is an established Minnesota program that promotes economic development, and city staff would not recommend the establishment of a job creation requirement for this specific project. That concludes the staff report.
One minor question for Mr. Nisley. Normally, haven't we in the past done the 10-year tax abatement? I notice this one's 13.
Yes, that normally that has been what's been recommended in the previous past couple of years.
Right.
In talking with the developer on this site, we have estimates, and you have estimates in your packet of what the total cost of removing all those soils and then
read that.
replacing them. In order for them to abate that cost, it takes them 13 years of city taxes to get to that amount.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, we technically can go up to 15.
Yep.
And then if the county and/or school district write a letter saying that they're not going to give up their portion, we could potentially go 20. We have a couple that are 20 years that are out there.
Thank you.
Going to be great to see that space have something operational on it. So glad someone's doing something. So I'll make a motion to authorize the staff and project consultant to prepare the documentation necessary to establish a tax abatement program for SLD Properties LLC at 318 to 326 North Broadway.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I'm just glad they're developing it, and we've got a tool that helps them, and, you know, it's been sitting there vacant long enough, that corner was, so.
Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
That motion does carry. Under old business, we have the 2025 MSAS Improvement Project. Mr. Stadheim.
Thank you, Madam President, City Councilors. As a reminder, this is a bridge scour repair project on the 20th South Bridge as it connects to CASA 37 on the south end of town. Underwater inspection of that indicated some significant scour around Pier 1 and the footing of Pier 1. So, and then as long as we have a contractor there, we're going to do some abutments and riverbank stabilization on the project as well. We previously opened bids on this project, and those bids came in way over the engineer's estimate. City Council authorized us to reject those bids and rebid this project with some clarifying language on the project scope and some more leniency for the contractor as far as completion dates are concerned. So as you authorized previously, city staff received and opened bids on Wednesday, December 10th. We actually received 3 bids for the project. And those are summarized within your council packet. The low bidder was MR Paving and Excavating with a bid amount of $339,196. That is still 37% over the engineer's detailed estimate, but it is a balanced and fair bid after review of numbers submitted. After review and consultation with the Nicollet County engineer, staff and Nicollet County staff are recommending we award the project to MR Paving. And just a reminder, this project is a 50-50 cost share with Nicollet County, which you previously authorized that cost share agreement. This project is fully funded by city MSAS funding, so that's our state aid funding. Will not have an impact on the 2025 bond issuance. The contractor is looking at doing this work sometime in the summer. Once the snow and ice melt happens and river levels recedes. So it is our recommendation to award this contract today.
I'll motion to award the contract for the 2025 MSAS Improvement Project to M&R Paving and Excavating in the amount of $339,196.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
That motion carries. Thank you. Item 6.2, 18th South Street Storm Sewer Lift Station Project.
Yeah, I don't know who named that project. Madam President, City Councilors, we're finally to the point where we have plans and specifications prepared, and we are ready to send this project out for bids. As a reminder, it's been a lengthy process to get to this point. We were notified that we received the FEMA funding for this project back in 2023, and by the time we worked through the grant process, that took about a full year, and that was finally in 25, we received the actual grant document from the Minnesota Department of Public Safety for this pre-disaster mitigation funding through the congressionally directed spending process. So that amount covered by FEMA is $1.125 million. The engineer's estimate for the project is $1.513 million. And the city's share of this project will be funded by the city's 2025 bond issuance. So as previously stated, plans and specifications have been prepared, and we would like to set the bid opening date and have you approve those plans and specs, and then open bids on February 11th of next year.
Well, I'm going to offer the resolution approving plans and specs and ordering the advertising for bid on the 18th South Street Storm Sewer Lift Station project, setting the opening date and authorizing staff to receive and open bids for the project at 10 a.m. Wednesday, February 11th, 2026, in City Hall Council Chambers.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion?
President, Councilor, quick question for
Yes.
Engineer Stadheim. Is this a structure that simply pumps water over or through the levee?
Yeah, good question. So Councilor Schmitz, the lift station structure itself is below grade. It's going to be a large underground vault structure to really take on the water to allow some what we call bounce. So it'll fill up to the pumping level, then it'll be pumped through the levee. Actually, we'll be placing two, I believe they're 18-inch ductile iron pipe through the levee, and they'll discharge on the other side, on the river side. And then the backup generator and all the pump components, control panels, and everything will be on the protected side. We will also have a pad available for accessory pumping in the event that the lift station itself can't keep up, and for pump maintenance and things of that nature. So,
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
Counselor Schmitz?
Yes.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, that motion carries. Item 6.3 is our 2026 levy of City of New Ulm budget and property tax levy.
Counselors, no changes have been made since the public hearing at the last meeting. The levy is set at right now a 7.36% increase over the 2025 budget, for a total including both the EDA and the parking district of $11,238,592.
Thank you. I know it was a lot of work to get here.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and offer the resolution adopting the final 2026 budget of the City of New Ulm totaling $29,124,853 with a local property tax levy of $11,238,592 and a City of New Ulm net property tax levy of $11,081,592.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
Counselor Schmitz?
Yes.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, motion carries. Item 6.4 is ordinance number 2025-111, second consideration of zoning section 4.11.
All right. Again, this is the second consideration of ordinance 2025-111. Since it was last at the council, we have not received any comments from the public and have not made any changes to the ordinance language. Just a reminder, this amendment would allow for the grid lots in the R3 district that were recorded prior to October 1, 1968, that do not meet the minimum zoning standards to follow the standards that apply to the RT2 traditional neighborhood single and two-family residence district.
I'm going to motion to conduct the second consideration and adoption of ordinance number 2025-111, amending section 4.11 of Appendix A of the City Code of the City of New Ulm relative to zoning in the said city.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
That motion carries. Item 6.5 is amendment of tax abatement agreement with Garden Terrace New Ulm 2 LLC and Oak Hills Living Center.
Madam Chair, members of the City Council, I would first like to start with some good news. This morning, the Brown County Board of Commissioners voted to participate in the tax abatement program for this particular project. So we're very pleased with that news. That provides an additional approximately $250,000 for the project. This is an amendment to an agreement that you previously approved. And since this is the third tax abatement request that you've dealt with tonight, if you have no objection, I can shorten the presentation.
So move.
So the project location is 1011 North Garden Street. The city conducted a public hearing on the agreement at its November 18th, 2025 meeting. Prior to the meeting, we did send a copy of the agreement to the owner and asked them to share it with Oak Hills. Then on December 8th, we received an amended agreement from them requesting some changes. Staff met with the city attorney, reviewed the proposed changes, identified modifications that we thought were appropriate, and forward those to the developer. The changes were acceptable to the developer. And so that brings us to tonight's meeting where you're being asked to approve those modifications. Now, your agenda packet includes the agreement showing the actual changes that were requested and the ones that were agreed upon by staff. The term of this particular tax abatement project is 10 years. The abatement schedule is the same as for the two previous projects. If the agreement changes are acceptable, we would ask that the city attorney and staff still be authorized to make changes where they are noted or necessary. Would also note that Brown County this morning approved what is almost an identical agreement for this project. That would conclude the report.
Thank you, Mr. Schnobreck.
President, councilors, this is a wonderful project. Happens to be in Ward 3, and I'm very proud to offer the resolution approving the amendment of the tax abatement agreement between the City of New Ulm and Garden Terrace New Ulm 2 LLC and Highland Manor Incorporated, doing business as Oak Hills Living Center for a housing project at 1011 North Garden Street.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
Counselor Schmidt?
Yes.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, that motion carries. Item 7.1, under new business, we have the 2026-2027 grant agreement amendment for the BLRR Drug Task Force.
Madam President, members of the council, I'm Dave Borkert, Chief of Police for the City of New Ulm. In front of you is a grant agreement amendment. The reason it's coming in front of you is because the City of New Ulm is a fiscal agent for the Brown Line Redwood Renville Drug Task Force. This is an extremely important resource for regional law enforcement, certainly for the City of New Ulm. This $288,000 grant, this is a major revenue source for the task force, the primary one. And this agreement would ask or authorize the city manager and myself as the police chief to execute the agreement in behalf of the City of New Ulm. If there are any questions, I'm certainly try to answer them. Thank you.
I'd be more than happy to offer the resolution approving Minnesota Department of Public Safety Violent Crimes Enforcement Teams, BLR Drug Task Enforcement Grant Agreement number A-VCET-2026- New Ulm PD-007 in the amount of $288,000 and authorize the city manager and police chief to execute the agreement for and on behalf of the City of New Ulm.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
Counselor Schmitz?
Yes.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, that motion does carry. Thank you. Item 7.2, adopt the revisions to the City and PUC Personnel Policy Manual. Ms. Boomgarden, hello.
All right. Thanks, President Becker and councilors. Shauna Boomgarden, Human Resources Director. So there's several updates to our personnel policy manuals. Most are due to new state legislation going into effect in 2026. So just to highlight a couple of the changes, rest and meal breaks, there's some new legislative requirements there. Most of the changes have to do with the Minnesota paid leave law, which I'm sure you are all aware of, which goes into effect on January 1st. The city will be using an approved private equivalent plan rather than the state plan. It allows us to offer the same benefits but at a lower cost. The state plan rate is currently 0.88%, and our approved private plan rate is 0.78%, resulting in savings for both the city and for employees. So most of the changes were due to the Minnesota paid leave law. There was also some changes, minor changes to earn sick and safe time to allow with some of those legislative updates. But otherwise, overall, those were most of the changes. So anybody has any questions?
I have no questions. You know, these are come forward, you know, in new year, we have to all move forward with it, so for the states. So I'm going to offer a motion to approve the revisions to the City PUC Personnel Policy Manual, which would be effective on January 1, 2026.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion does carry. Item 7.3, appointment to Economic Development Authority.
I'll make a motion to approve the appointment of Mike Lieb to the Economic Development Authority to fill the unexpired term of Tom Berg for a term ending December 31st, 2027.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion?
Welcome, Mike.
Yes, those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Yes, we had this open for a few months, so Mayor, thank you for...
It's been a journey.
Yes, I believe it. Item 7.4, support and authorization of ATP-7 grant applications.
Thank you, Madam President, City Councilors. Staff intends to submit 3 grants applications to the ATP 7 offices over at MnDOT District 7 for a number of programs, one of them being STP Small Urban Funding, which we've been a grant recipient of many times. That's a program that's funding the 2027 Garden Street Improvement Project, funded the 20th South Reconstruction Project last year. a very successful program that we've delivered many projects with. The other programs are CRP, which is the Carbon Reduction Program, and the TA program, which is Transportation Alternative Program. So the TA program really revolves around safer, equitable means of transportation. So we're looking at using that funding avenue to fund the proposed pedestrian underpass tunnel at Center and Garden Street. If you'll remember back when we did the intersection control evaluation study, we looked at that as an option. And that program, that $1.5 million, could be used to fund that portion of that project. The carbon reduction program is exactly that, looking at reducing the amount of carbon emissions in the community. So that program could be used to fund a portion of the roundabout project, either at Payne Street or at Garden Street. As you may remember, or looking at the graphic within your packet, we're proposing a kind of a corridor safety improvement project along Center Street from, in essence, calling it from Jefferson to Summit, really involving the construction of roundabouts at Payne Street and Garden Street, along with the pedestrian underpass. So combined, if we were successful in obtaining the max funding for all three of these programs, it would fund 80% of the project. How the applications play out is to be determined, but staff is asking for your support of these applications, as well as be funding the unfunded amount with a partial award as well. I am still working with Brown County on this project as well, since Center Street is on the CASA system, and the county engineer has indicated his support as well. I'll be going to the County Board of Commissioners next week for their resolution of support. But Brown County has indicated a willingness to participate financially as well for any unfunded portions of the project. Any questions?
President and councilors, this is a very important corridor of ours, and safety improvements are wonderful. So I'm very happy to offer the resolution to offer the New Ulm City Council support of the city engineers ATP-7 grant applications for the STP Small Urban Transportation Alternatives and Carbon Reduction Program funding, and authorize the city engineer to submit the grant applications.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
Counselor Schmitz?
Yes.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, that motion carries. For item 7.5, I do have a conflict of interest as the executive director for New Ulm Turner Hall, which oversees the Turner Gymnastics Academy. So I'm going to pass the gavel to Vice President Warmka.
So yes, as Andrea said, item 7.5 is the Turner Gymnastics Academy lease agreement renewal.
Vice President Warmka, City Council, Joey Shugel, Park and Recreation Director. This is a renewal of a lease agreement that is on a 2-year cycle that you've approved in the past. This would be the third time it would be authorized since the infancy of the gymnastics center located at the Recreation Center. It's for the years 2026 and 2027. The lease itself has no changes as it is right now. There is an addition. The one change is just to the monthly lease amount that's reflected in our employee costs for ongoing maintenance of that area, common area, custodial maintenance, snow removal, all of those factors that go into that. But I will say there is an addition, though. We have added language that addresses advertising within the gymnastics center. So Turner Gymnastics Academy does do some advertising that they didn't do when the facility was first opened. So to get us up to speed with how we treat other associations that advertise on city property, there is added language for that advertising agreement, which TGA would retain 90% of gross advertising revenue. We would retain 10% of that. Happy to answer any questions that you have on this. Both attorneys on each side have reviewed the language and are comfortable with this lease agreement.
And again, all the issues were explained at the December 8th Park and Rec meeting, and they unanimously recommended approval. I'm going to authorize the city manager to sign the lease agreement with the New Ulm Turner Ryan Incorporated, doing business as Turner Gymnastics Academy for a gymnastics center in the recreation center with a monthly rental amount of $4,180.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Actually need to record the vote since Andrea is abstaining.
Okay.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
Counselor Schmitz?
Yes.
And Counselor Mack?
Yes.
We do have a motion. That motion does carry. You gonna holler at Andrea? Pass that back around.
Thank you. Item 7.6 is the 2025 year-end transfers.
Counselors, these are annual transfers. Most of them are budgeted and involve the 290 funds, the sinking funds that we put away each year. In the past, we've done these. Last year, I think, was the first year we did it this way. We usually request these in February and then make the year-end entries in the previous year. It's easier for our accounting as we go forward and start to report on the end of the year, since the year-end draws out so long, if we can make these entries now. And then there will be additional requests later as we start to move through the year-end process.
I'm okay with it, so I'm going to offer the resolution approving the recommended 2025 year-end transfers.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Christian? Yes. Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
Counselor Schmitz?
Yes.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, that motion does carry. Item 7.7 is community events for 2026.
President and councilors, I'd like to offer the resolution designating the following as community events for the year 2026 to adhere to the provisions of MSA 340A.410 subdivision 10, which allows cities to have more than one temporary liquor license within a 30-day period. These 7 community events include Bavarian Blast, Bachfest, the Brown County Fair, Fasching, Hermanfest, MyFest, and Oktoberfest.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any additional discussion?
Just one quick, I guess, let's go housekeeping. If there are events on here that you no longer want on here, it's just an ongoing list, you can make that motion, moving forward, or just let us know next year, hey, take these ones off. And just clarification, these are community events that would allow them, because they're multi-day events, to do more than one temporary liquor license within that 30-day period. So it exempts them from that.
And I think that's the sole reason we do it, correct?
That's the only
On the
reason we
liquor
do it,
license,
yeah.
right.
So this is by no means everything that happens within the city. It's just the ones that need that extra protection so they can get the liquor license they need.
Thanks for that clarity.
Are there any new events that should be considered
None
while
that are
we're bringing it up for
multi-day.
the year? And then how does everyone feel about removing MyFest?
Someone might renovate.
I mean, we don't have any plans for it this
Right.
year, so.
Depends if a special interest group wants to take it on, I
Exactly.
guess,
It's made the list.
Next 5 months, I guess. I don't know. Okay, well, I like to keep things, updated and rolling, and we haven't had MyFest in at least a decade, so I would.
Take a motion to strike
Yes,
MyFest.
I like to keep things cleaned up, so.
Just for housekeeping purposes, I'll make a motion to eliminate MyFest as a city fest, or a city, what are we calling it?
Community event.
Community event, there we go.
Second.
Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
Counselor Schmitz? Yes. Counselor Mack?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, that motion does carry. Item 7.8, City Charter Commission convened to meet.
Being I'm on that commission, I'll offer the resolution to authorize the City Charter Commission to convene in 2026 to continue the process of reviewing and revising the Home Rule Charter.
Second.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion?
Just for anyone watching, and Counselor Christian, there's currently nothing on the city side that we're going to bring forward. So if you're on the commission and you want to kind of look through it and have any suggestions for that meeting, please do so. But again, we'll just go through that process at the meeting.
We should be 99.9% cleaned up.
Yes.
Thank you. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
Counselor Schmitz?
Yes.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
President Becker?
That motion carries. Item 7.9 is a fire department donation.
President and councilors, I'd like to offer the resolution to accept a $1,000 donation from Sylvia Aufderheide.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
Counselor Schmitz?
Yes.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, motion carries. Last item of business tonight is 7.10, park and recreation donations.
Joe's done enough talking for tonight, so I'll offer the resolution to accept the donations offered to the City of New Ulm through the Park and Rec Department for the identified purposes. From the Pollinator Park from the Isaac Walton, Chapter 79, $1,500. For Riverside ELC from the Isaac Walton, Chapter 79, $1,000. Mueller Backstop, New Ulm Baseball Association for $2,800. Communication Board, Tavern 507, $1,700. Communication Board from the Optimist Club of New Ulm, $500. And Parks from Victoria and Kenneth Roloff for $25, totaling $7,525.
Second.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
Counselor Schmitz?
Yes.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, that motion does carry. And with no additional business today, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.